Welcome to the ROQED Science Update Review. We are happy to announce that ROQED Science is now replenished with more 3D models, animations, functions and abilities to make learning fascinating than ever. First, there are more than 200 3D models were added. The models cover science subjects like biology, non-organic chemistry, physics and anatomy. Second, completely new mode called Animation is developed so students and teachers can enjoy the app in a completely different way. In animation mode, information is presented in a more visual way, so users can visualize processes and elements that are hidden in a model view. It also helps teachers explain difficult topics in a simple way. Let's take a look at a couple of them. For example, an incandescent lamp. After opening the model, we can see an orange tab on the left upper corner. This is a name of regime of exploring the model. In the study mode, we can play with the model as in the sandbox, zoom in and out, dissect, rotate and move in space. We can study each element of the model by clicking on it. On the bottom the description of the element appears, and we can read more about it from there. In addition, if we press the half-human head, the machine-read voice starts to read the relevant text. This is a new function that was not existing in earlier versions of the app. Voice reading function is especially useful when a teacher gives a lecture and lets the software do the explanation of the material. The full potential of the function opens when we proceed to the animation mode. To do that, we need to click on the orange tab and select Animation. The software will start the animated virtual tour on explaining relevant topic. The types of animations vary from the topic that is required to explain.
When current is supplied, the tungsten filament in the lamp becomes hot and starts to glow. The glow of a tungsten filament is a consequence of the fact that an electric current passes through a material of high resistance. In general, an incandescent lamp heats up because free electrons move along its metal filament and collide with stationary atoms on their way. The excited atoms begin to vibrate violently, increasing the temperature of the metal filament and causing it to glow. The wavelength of this glow coincides with the visible range of electromagnetic radiation. On average, the temperature of a tungsten filament reaches 3000 Kelvin. This is a very high temperature considering that the temperature on the surface of the Sun is about 6000 Kelvin. Despite the high temperatures, the average service life of an incandescent lamp reaches 1000 hours. Earth's magnetic field, also known as the geomagnetic field, is the magnetic field that extends from the Earth's interior out into space, where it interacts with the solar wind, a stream of charged particles emanating from the Sun. The Sun's magnetic field and particles are called the solar wind. This wind is always pushing on the Earth's magnetic field, changing its shape. You change the shape of a soap bubble in a similar way when you blow on its surface. The geographic North Pole differs from the magnetic North Pole by about 500 kilometers. Plants are constantly in motion, but most plant movements occur slowly and are easily overlooked. Nevertheless, some plant movements occur very rapidly and are easily noticed, such as the leaf movements of the well-known Venus's flytrap and mimosa sensitive plant. Both living and dead plant tissues can display movement. In the picture, you can clearly see the lines of the magnetic field of permanent magnets of different shapes. So, the poles of the cylindrical and horseshoe-shaped magnets are located at different ends, and the lines themselves go from the north pole of the magnet to the south. As for the ring-shaped and disc-shaped magnets, their poles seem to be superimposed on each other, and the magnetic field lines also go from the north magnetic pole. Two physical systems are in thermal equilibrium if there is no net flow of thermal energy between them. As different substances have different molecular structures, different strengths between atoms and different densities, it will take more energy to heat them up. The intercostal muscles are several muscle groups that run between the ribs and help shape and move the chest wall. The intercostal muscles are involved in the mechanical aspect of breathing. These muscles help expand and contract the chest, making breathing easier.